we are back, and as always, we shift from football to everybody's favorite university in the state of Illinois, the University of Illinois, and I'm rocking the new hockey jersey that Champaign came out with. I always got the drip. So guess what's funny, Marco, and for all the fans back home watching this game? As you can see, I got a lot of Illini drip.
Yep,
I wear a lot of it, and I don't even wear hats during the podcast a lot. I got a lot of Illini hats. So here's the thing, is that, yes, I do get some free gear from my job. Some. Not all of it. I have spent a lot of money on Illini gear to have drip when I go to work and all that. I just found out this fucking weekend that I get a 25% discount.
But is that not one of the things they explain to you? Like, oh yeah,
no.
Like, benefits. Like, oh yeah, you get a 25% discount at game day Spirit.
So here's the thing about it, is that the first year you do the job that I have, you're the street team. Then you get signed on as an MA, and your first semester as an MA is unpaid. Both of those positions are unpaid. Once you hit your second semester of marketing assistant, then you start getting paid and you get put in the database. It's not until you get put in the database, which is already so far along in your time there, that they don't tell you that. So I was just with one of my bosses, and she was like, yeah, I bought this, and it was like $35, but for us it was like $24. And I was like, what do you mean for us? She's like, oh, we get a discount at Game Day Spirit. And I was like, this would have been great to know. I'm like, is this for everyone? She's like, as long as you're on the payroll, all you do is give them your iCard, they swipe it like a credit card, and boom, you pop up.
That's kind of crazy.
It is.
Think about all the money you could have saved, because like you said, you had spent a lot of money in the line.
It would have been. I think I've spent at least $400. I would guess over my 4 years. And I mean, these ain't cheap. Like every time I put up, this is an $80 fucking sweater.
Yeah, the line gear is not cheap.
Like it's not fucking cheap. So it's like I did spend some not bands, but a lot of money on this shit, especially
bands
hats.
To make good dance.
So I could have gotten 100 of it back, but it was nice to grab a $30 hat and an $80 sweater, and they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna be $70." And you're like, "Oh,
wow, nice.
How is it cheaper than the sweater?"
Must be fucking nice.
It does feel great. So if you ever want something, let me know. I'll buy it for you.
Shit, I mean, we can slide there, because I do want a baseball jersey. I want a baseball jersey.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'm just gonna cop this. Look me up, Joe Long. All of a sudden, it's 25% off, Marco.
Oh, wow.
But for you, 15, so that I get a 10% payment.
That's fair.
That's how you do it. That's
gonna be. It's still a discount for me, anyways, man.
So that was our money tips. That was our introduction to the Illini segment. We're not gonna talk about football because we lost to Rutgers
on Dad's weekend.
So here's what we did. We went and we beat the number 7 team on the road in their place. Then we came and we played a team that hasn't won in front of fans in conference since 2017. And they won in front of our fans and in front of me. And they just gave us the feeling we were expecting to feel.
And in front of all the dads, too.
In front of all the dads. It was Dad's weekend. It was Military Appreciation Weekend.
I didn't know that.
And it was Halloween weekend.
It was Halloween weekend. That shit was crazy.
So this is the actual main topic of our segment. We'll get to that in just one second. Football, do you want to add anything onto it? You can see my face. I'm done.
No.
What's the other sport that started?
But on the other hand, which there is some news, but the Fighting Illini men's basketball team is going to be the number 1 team in the country come March Madness time.
It's crazy, because that's fact.
I mean, honestly, we played IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and they surprisingly put up a better fight than I was expecting them to.
They put up a good fight in the first half.
No,
now, come the second half, they just completely shit the bed.
Another exhibition.
But they put up a good fight for the first half, and I was like, wow. I mean, exhibition game showed out. But the Illini did way better. We beat them. I forgot what the final score was, but I think we beat them by like 15.
Yeah, it was something like that. The biggest thing that I will say from that game is I came for the first 30 of the 40 minutes. So I left at the 10-minute mark in the second half to go attend something else.
Yeah.
And in the early part of this game, Trent Frazier had his hand in the cookie jar. Guy goes up strong with it while he's trying to rip it out. And, I mean, listen, I've been around Gibby. He's had shoulder injuries. My dad's had a shoulder injury. I've had, not a shoulder injury, but had it tweak.
Yeah.
And it didn't necessarily look good. For someone who is as gritty as him, obviously it's an exhibition game. He could have just been playing it safe, and that's why he tried to come back in. He originally went out and went to the locker room. Yeah. His shoulder didn't look too good.
And then he did get back in.
He came back in, but when he went back to the bench, there was a play where he was jogging back, looked at Underwood and went. Oof. And when he did this, I was like, oh. And as he was walking down the bench and giving high fives to all the guys, he kept doing that. So I was like, he better just be saying, I'm done for today. I need to let this bitch, heal up.
Yeah.
He's a defensive guy. He's a gritty guy. Those little tweaks are huge deals.
Yeah, and it is a huge deal. I mean, our first game isn't until next week, November 9th.
That's what I'm saying.
Tuesday, November 9th. So hopefully he can bounce back, because he is an integral part of our team. And that loss would hurt a lot more because Kofi is suspended for the first 3 games.
So I'm going to look at the camera right now. The NCAA, you're a piece of fucking shit. The way I'm going to say it is how we said it on the Illini Barstool. We've gotten over 300,000 impressions on this tweet, by the way. Shout out. I think it was Garrett who posted that. I don't know. Kofi Coburn sold merch 3 weeks before the official legislation passed. Yeah. It had already been confirmed that it was going to pass, so it kind of felt like it was.
Yeah,
but
so
it
the
legislation.
The legislation passed July 1st, and this happened
3 weeks before that. June, he donated every single cent he made to charity, which is NCAA rules of how to get out of this. We knew a suspension was coming, but we were guessing for one game on the basis of Mark Few, a coach, had a DUI, and he got a 1-game suspension. Yeah. Instead, the NCAA said 3 games.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid.
It doesn't really get me too mad because, like you said, we do miss Jackson. He misses the opener against Jackson State. Our first 2 games are somewhat weaker. It's the 3rd game against Marquette. Yeah, I don't like that he misses. Not saying that we're going to lose that game now because of him. It's a premier game. It's a chance for him to kind of put his name bigger and bigger to help him win that. Because like right now, my dream for Kofi, my hope for Kofi is not just all the team success. I also want him to get to that Player of the Year because it evaded Io last year.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope. I want Kofi to be like the top 5 NBA prospect come the draft time. I want to
have an Illinois guy get respect because I have to let everybody know every single week I see it that Io DeSumo was a fucking baller and 37 picks were mistaken.
Yeah, I mean the other day when we beat the Celtics, Io DeSumo was the one who drove that comeback. Wow, I fucking just got stuck.
He's a spark plug. It's crazy when you got veterans and Billy Donovan who coached Kevin Durant praising Io. Yeah, like these are guys that like. You hear fans are like, oh, he can't shoot. All of a sudden, he's banging threes. He's not this, that. And then you got the guys who are playing with him. You got guys on other teams saying, no, that's
that Chicago dog.
Kid. He's a baller.
You know, I saw that DeMar DeRozan said, like, he's Chicago. He's the epitome of Chicago kid. And he was like, I was like, damn, that's honestly respect. Like, that's cool
and
as fuck.
DeMar DeRozan has been a star for a long, long time. Like, obviously, every team tries to bump up their rookies. But, like, I haven't seen praise around a rookie like this before.
Yeah, exactly. So it might be a little. The thing is, I don't know because like obviously I don't pay attention to other rookies on other teams, but on our team, like and like you said,
Jalen Green's playing good.
It feels like
Jalen Suggs is struggling.
He is getting a lot of attention from like people in the league. Like people respect him and his name and his play.
I think if the Bulls have a 1st-round draft pick and they still use it on Io, and he just gets that bigger expectation, that bigger name, and those bigger minutes, I think he gets in the Rookie of the Year. I don't think he's actually going to win it. That's very biased for me to say that. But I don't think any other rookies playing as well as him. Yeah. They're just playing more.
Well, I was going to say, too,
like... Cade Cunningham's just coming back, too.
I was telling my roommate the other day, I think I was going to be I said 1st team all-rookie, but I could see him on 2nd all-rookie team.
Just because of the way it goes.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna blow up and be a star in the NBA eventually. Don't know if it's going to happen this year. I would love for it to happen this year, but he has the tools. He has a toolkit. He's been playing like a fucking dog.
Yeah. And he even came back to Champaign to get his ring.
Yeah, exactly. He was here on ring night when we beat IUP.
Yeah. So that night started...